Good morning. Good morning. We can begin our presentation portion of today's agenda. So I'd like to recognize Mr. Bob Blumenfield. And Bob, if you would start us off.
I'm going to start with Mr. Brad Upshaw. Colleagues, I am very proud to honor Brad Upshaw today for his induction into the National Teachers Hall of Fame.
Let's give him a round of applause. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Well, a lot of folks don't know what that means. It is a big, big deal. Induction into the National Teachers Hall of Fame is an incredible achievement. Only 5 teachers from across the entire country receive this honor. He is in illustrious company, becoming only the second LAUS teacher in our history to be inducted, the other being Jamie Escalante. Now, Brad is in his 34th year as a 3rd grade teacher in the Los Angeles Unified School District. He teaches at Van Alden Avenue Elementary School on the border of 2 communities in my district, Tarzana and Reseda. Yoshim Yang, the principal of Van Alden Elementary, who is here today as well, nominated Brad as the candidate after hearing Claudia Sanchez talk about the National Teachers Hall of Fame on NPR. Brad and his fellow inductees in the National Teachers Hall of Fame 2018, they spent a week in Washington, D.C. They were meeting with our nation's education leaders at the Department of Education, the NEA, the U.S. Congress, and others. And this summer, these 5 inductees, again, 5 for the entire country, spent a week in Emporia, Kansas, which, as everyone here knows, Emporia, Kansas is the home of the National Teachers Hall of Fame. How many people actually knew that here? He was there, and they did an hour-long live radio broadcast, recorded a 90-minute roundtable discussion, and attended the 27th annual induction ceremony. Artifacts and mementos from Brad's 30-year teaching career are currently on display in Emporia, Kansas, at the display of the National Teachers Hall of Fame Museum. And that display highlights his work as the lead teacher and mentor. It shows off his 81 videos in the Classroom Awards, and it presents his extensive professional development workshop resume from around the state. He also proudly shares many personal letters from his students are on display in the museum. I know there's going to be a rush to get your plane tickets to get to Kansas to see this, but you don't have to because we have the real deal right here with us. He received his teaching credential from Cal State Northridge and was recently recognized as the CSUN Alumni of the Year. He was recognized at their Alumni of the Year dinner. Now, Austin Butner, who's the new superintendent, visited Brad's classroom on the first day to congratulate him. And Mr. Upshaw will continue teaching his 3rd graders in room 14. Whether or not they realize that they have a Hall of Famer teaching them or not, he is going to give them the education that they deserve. But in addition, he's been named to the advisory board of the National Teachers Hall of Fame, and he will now serve as the lifelong ambassador for public education. And I want to read you a quote from Brad. Even though you're going to hear from him, it's such a great quote, I thought I would read it. He said, "Teaching is storytelling. I try to find the essential. I do not want to be boring. I do not want to turn off the curiosity and sense of wonder. There has to be a reason to come to school every day. I want teachers and I want students to know that something great is going to happen and they don't want to miss it. Let's be smarter and nicer than we were yesterday." That's the kind of teacher, as a parent, we want our kids to be going to your classroom because that is the kind of energy that we want out there. Now, Brad is joined today by his wife, Sherry, his stepdaughters, Shaina and Alyssa, his brother-in-law, Scott Quinn, who is a fire department battalion chief with Battalion 4. So let's give Brad a big round of applause. And Brad, would you like to say a few words?
I appreciate that. I was going to say that city government leaders and teachers have something in common. We have a common purpose. We want to improve the lives of the citizens in our community. And today, the Los Angeles City Council and the National Teachers Hall of Fame have something in common. They both want to support, recognize, and elevate the teaching profession. October just happens to be UNESCO's World Teacher Day. So I am honored to be here today to represent the public school teachers in this city, and I am personally grateful to this city council for the recognition. When you talk to accomplished people, you find that besides their family and friends, they often give credit for their success to a teacher in their life, a teacher that challenged them or inspired them or encouraged them in a significant way. Like a talent agent in Hollywood, teachers can discover the talents of their students, develop those skills, and help them share their gifts with the world. I live and work in CD3, where I am filled with purpose and joy every day. I get a preview of our future working with the third graders in my classroom. And I can tell you all that Los Angeles is great, but we're just getting started. So let's get to work. And maybe some of you know of an accomplished career teacher that you could nominate for the National Teacher Hall of Fame. I brought today with me an application for the class of 2019. And please don't forget that tomorrow is the Emergency Preparedness Fair in Reseda. Thank you very much.
Wow, I didn't even prompt him to publicize my emergency preparedness fair that's happening tomorrow in Reseda that everyone should know about, but thank you for that. So if you'd accept this token of appreciation, not just signed by me, but by the mayor and all of the council members. Take a photo here. And yeah.
You can see their faces. No, they want to see your faces in the camera. My boss is in there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pictures of the back. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, I have one more presentation.
Go right ahead, Mr. Blumenfield.
You know, it's so great to be able to hear, talking about teachers and cops. That's what I'm talking about today. Folks who really are out there on the front lines, making our future better and protecting and serving us.